Thanks, Bird, or should I call him Big Pun after tonight? I mean, he had it going, Scott.
Yes, he did. He was hot today.
And you know who else had it going?
Sarah added one in there too.
Yeah, but we heard the final score.
Yeah,
Bird beat her handily in the pun game. Scott and the Nets beat the Celtics handily in this game up in Boston, and it was something that you alluded to in the pregame show. The Nets had to get out to a fast start, and they did just that tonight.
Total domination. I think they set the tone early. They moved the ball, played tough defense. They were smothering the Celtics offensively, and they made open shots. They found guys cutting to the basket, got open looks, and it just carried throughout the game.
And it wasn't only the fast start at the beginning of the game. You said at halftime, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the next 5 minutes of the third quarter, the first 5 minutes, rather, of the third quarter, because you want that intensity to keep up, and they did that.
They did, and it carried throughout the game. The first 5 minutes, I think they were 11 for 13 from the floor to start the second half, and they were just moving the ball, having fun like we talked about earlier. The chemistry is great, and that's the best total start to finish game they played all year.
The chemistry is great. Patty Mills, 7 for 10 from 3. We just saw him with Michael Grady. But another solid game from Cam Thomas. This is building off of Monday with the Cavaliers, but what did you like out of his game tonight?
His aggressiveness. He knows he's a young guy in the court, but he still has to be aggressive coming off the bench. They need those points because those starters come out. They need someone to fill those voids.
And he did that tonight for Steve Nash and company. Let's get to some highlights now from this one. And this is something we talked about all night long while watching the game. The ball movement of the Nets all night long, Scott, led to open looks and basically Patty Mills draining threes left and right.
And they knew who was hot at the time. They would find the mismatches out in the court, find the open guy, and made the right reads.
And DeAndre Bembry, he's another one. He was with the starting unit. He had a great game. He gets the dish there from Harden. Now he's on the receiving end from KD.
Yes.
So Bembry in the right place at the right time, but he makes his own luck.
Yes, he does.
Second quarter here. Good ball movement once again, and it's Javon Carter this time in the corner for 3. It seems like every time the Nets needed a big bucket, they got it from different members. Balanced scoring in this one,
And that's why that lead opened up to 29 points in the second half.
And here again is the Yam. As Ian and Sarah alluded to. The Yam from Kevin Durant. Third quarter, this time Durant with the steal, and he finds Mills for the lay-in.
Great passing, way to sprint the court.
That's
easy bucket.
2 inside for his range.
Yeah. He wanted to step out to 3.
Way too close. This time, nice behind-the-back feed from Harden to Aldridge.
Who was incredible tonight.
Yes, he was. LMA, tremendous for the Nets. And then Harden slings it down to James Johnson for the reverse lane. And this is a bucket that the Nets needed.
Yes, they were in a little drought. Perfect timing for that basket.
Yes, the Celtics cut it down to 13 at that moment. That put it back to 15. We take a look at the final stats here. Celtics really couldn't buy a bucket from downtown, and that was really their death knell tonight. They didn't move the ball. They looked kind of stagnant. And Scott, we were talking about this earlier. It was the fact that they looked discombobulated. They looked like a team that hadn't played together all season long. And we talked about in the pregame show how the last 11 games, they won 8 of them.
Yeah, but I think the Nets defense had something to do with that. They were smothering, like I said, and going 11 for 49 from 3. That's gonna, or 48. It's gonna be a tough night for you.
Yes, absolutely. And what about tonight? Statement game for Brooklyn?
Definitely a statement game, and I think they're gonna build on this too. I mean, they've been playing well, but after tonight's game, they really feel more confident.
They've been heavily scrutinized as a 13-5 team coming into tonight. Now, 14-5, the best 19-game stretch in the franchise's career to start the season. So this game against the Celtics, you go up there before Thanksgiving. This is a statement game, and this is telling the rest of the league, hey, we're here, and we're no paper 13-5 team.
No, they have enough studs to know how good they are, but also that Thanksgiving dinner is going to taste a lot better with a win after like that kind of win. And
we saw LaMarcus Aldridge in the starting lineup tonight, Scott, and we liked the way it looked, and DeAndre Bembry as well, but the balanced scoring that you see right here included guys like Cam Thomas off the bench. The bench has been scrutinized too, the depth. But tonight, the depth of this team really proved what they could be for the Nets throughout the season.
Yeah, 5 guys in double digits. Guys come off the bench with another double-digit scorer. And the confidence they started with is what carried them through the first quarter, through the first half, and throughout the second half.
All right, so Aldridge in the starting lineup. Blake Griffin sits out tonight, does not play the entire game. What do you make out of that? LMA, of course, he just continues what he's been doing all season long off the bench, but in a starting role, but no Blake.
Yeah, I mean, Blake got a day of rest. You know, he watched the team play. When he gets it back out there, when they come back from their break, he'll go out there and do what he has to do. But I'm sure he just needed a day of rest and just watching the team and regain his focus.
We saw a bunch of guys who got some run tonight who know their role. Yes. And, Scott, you know this from being a head coach. You have role players on your team, obviously, as well. There's role players everywhere. But you saw this Nets team and this Nets depth tonight. They really did exactly what they were supposed to do in helping the team get the win.
They grew. I think they grew tonight. Then they got more confidence in each other. And that's going to prepare them for the further games. All
right, Scott, we're going to step aside, take our first break here on the Brooklyn Nets postgame show. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach. That would be Steve Nash. I have a head coach sitting right next to me. We're going to hear from the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets when we come back. We'll also go back up to Boston, hear the final thoughts of this one from Ian and Sarah. And we'll also get player reaction with Michael Grady, working the ones and twos.
First-year head coach for the Celtics and assistant with the Nets last season. Nets shoot 51% from the field, and they do it wire to wire tonight in Boston.
29 assists, excellent job not only on the offensive end, defensively, getting stops, a really clean game, and the energy, the intensity, all the things that you want. And once again, Kevin Durant, this time we know exactly who he's giving the jersey to.
Yeah, he's giving it to Matt Judon. Judon among the league leader in sacks, and now he's got himself a brand new Kevin Durant jersey.
Expect that to make your broadcast, the Patriots broadcast on Sunday.
That's an excellent point. I can do some cross promotion. That's not an issue. Patty Mills was having a long chat with Ime Udoka. Their relationship goes back to the San Antonio days. And now Patty is making his way over towards our own Michael Grady. Michael, take it away, my man.
Thanks a lot. Here with Patty Mills. Patty, what did you guys have to do tonight to have the execution that you did to dominate for such long portions of this game?
Yeah, I know you're probably expecting some grand scheme, secret, you know, out of the vault type stuff. But look, I just think we came in and brought the juice, brought the enthusiasm on both ends of the floor, but more specifically on the defensive end. We were up and in, we got deflections, we got steals, and then we ended the possession with a defensive rebound, which led to the other side. So I think just playing with that enthusiasm, you know, and it's fun when you play like that. I think it just went throughout the whole group.
A lot of fun and playing with a lot of confidence. How would you describe the confidence right now? There's 4 wins in a row, 7 wins in your last 8 games.
Well, I think you gain a lot of confidence from your teammates, you know, and being able to feed each other, feed off of each other. And I think that's how you make teammates better, you know, and it's a fun group to be a part of. It's a fun group to learn from. So to put it out on the floor, you know, we're definitely getting there, a step in the right direction.
And the chemistry is really showing out there. Can you speak to how chemistry leads to finding wide open Patty Mills jumpers? You knocked down 7 threes once again tonight.
Yeah, look, again, I think it's, you know, it starts in the locker room and the trust within the group and understanding everyone's game. So when you come out on the court, you know who's got each other's back and how to play with each other. At the end of the day, it's a game of basketball, and you got to try and keep it simple. And, you know, it's good to see the ball going.
No doubt. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Can you repeat what you told me earlier? I asked what's the first thing you're going to have for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
Coffee.
Coffee. Thank you. Thank you, Patty. Bert.
Yes, I believe Miles Standish used to have coffee on Thanksgiving, one of the Pilgrims. So that's